Okay, in this video I want to show you how you can create a system that does 11.52 points on average per month, and a couple of other things that might be quite handy about this system to look at. So stay tuned and let's get on with it. Hi, it's Malcolm here and welcome to another TTS video. And if you don't know me, then I've been creating software for the betting market for the last 20 plus 4 years or something, and TTS Plus is one of the methods or one of the pieces of software that I create. And this is a method put forward by a member called John, who likes creating lay systems, and this is kind of an updated version of one he's been doing lately. So basically these are the settings. If you are a TTS member, you just have to copy these settings and then you will be able to see exactly the same as I am here. If you don't know what TTS Plus is, then follow the link on the screen. Follow the link in the description, or just say, please send me the link, Malcolm, and I'll give you the link to the DOB software. But it should be showing up on the screen as well. And if you'd like to know some extras or join my daily email, then just put in the comments below email and I'll send you some information about that as well. So plenty of information about TTS Plus and how you can use it, and there's loads of other videos on my channel about TTS Plus. Okay, so this is a lay method. As always with lay methods, you need to be careful. I'm only showing you what's possible with this method. I'm not saying at all that you should go out and try it or do anything like that. This is just me showing you what one member's come up with. So please don't think I'm enticing you to bet lay or anything. That's not what I'm trying to do. I just want to show you some of the ideas that members have. So better than rank, this is kind of a rating based on how well they do based on their BSP ranking, and 1 to 30 tends to say that they do actually quite well. So I don't know why that's coming with a lay system, but it just seems to be. Number of runners 7 to 50. The price range of this system is 1 to 6. There may be some changes you can make to that, but just that's kind of what we're looking for. Last time out, -1, didn't finish to 9. So really we're not the only things we're not covering are runners that are new to the markets. So that's, if that was -2, you could have a look at that and see if you can see any difference. Tips to rank, that's based on the tipsters and their ranking, and it's 2 to 5. AVG2 is a rank that I've created, and if you join TTS you'll find out more about that. Same as AVG3, so we got 2 to 4, 2 to 40. Green rated is another rating that I've created. Again, if you join TTS you'll see how I put that rating together. It's actually from my other piece of software, which is TTS, which actually is a daily piece of software that just gives coloured ratings. Arrows, this is based on prices and their movements in the morning, and that basically means that they've gone up in price, so they're kind of going out. And 25% DP, this is just a trading or DOP piece of information. So again, I don't know how that relates to lay, but it seems to be helping on this particular system. And as I said, history, we're using all races, but you might want to have a look at how it works with different types of racing, and we are using all races, including Irish races, not just UK races. Okay, so if you use this system, you will probably get a number of selections every day to look at, but you won't obviously use them all. You'll only use the ones that are between 1 and 6, and that might only be 1, or it could be 2 or 3, but it will depend on the actual number of runners, the price of the runner before the off. We tend to, with systems like this, go a few seconds, 10 seconds before the advertised off, or if you're watching the race you can see what's happening and decide when to go. Sometimes it's better to watch the races if you can, because that way you can see if a race has gone off late and that kind of thing, and the prices, where the exact price is. But generally, if you're using a Greyhorse spot, and I'm going to show you how to use that with this system, then you can set the bot to go 10 seconds before the advertised off. That's the best you're going to get, because we need to know that the price is going to be between 1 and 6. We can't do that with BSP, because BSP is just to place a bet at whatever price comes out. And so we have to be a little bit careful. So we go before the off, and I'll show you how to set that up, as I said. So yeah, you'll get a number of runners, and then what you will do, if you've got TTS, you'll know that you'll have a bot link that will allow you to copy that bot link. And if you join TTS, it shows exactly how to create the bot link. It's created automatically when you create a system. You give it a name, save it, and it'll give you a bot link and a daily selection link. So if you don't want to use a bot, you can see the daily selections and use those. So that's the system. A couple of things about the profit and loss. You can see that it's got a very reasonable highest bank drawdown of only 10.93, which gives us an idea of things that we can probably do if you want to introduce some kind of recovery staking. Now, I'm not saying again that that's a good idea to do, but it's something that people ask about all the time. Longest closing run is 2. Predicted based on these strike rate could be as many as 3. In fact, we will probably find that out today, because I think it's just had 2 losers in a row. If we come down today, then yeah, we got 1, we had a winner, and then 2 losers. So it'd be interesting to see if we hit that 3 today or whether we get a winner. Okay, so if we were going to use some kind of recovery staking, we could have a look at, say, my favorite is split by 3. But let's have a look at 1 up and back. Now, basically what this does is it takes your original stake. So in this case, we're using 1 point. And then it will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, as to the maximum you want to do. So if we do that, and let's see, and we update the results, let's see what that does. So that has actually worked quite well. It's put the average price, winning price, up from about 11 to 14. The average points per month from 11 to 14. The one I like to do is do split by 3, as I said. And if we update the results with split by 3, this is using 5% commission, and most of us have got 2% commission on Betfair nowadays. But anyway, you can see that really increases the points up to 27, and it would have brought today up to 10, this month up to 10.96. And the way that works is, well, this is a classic. You lose here, you divide by 3, and then you add 1. So you divide 3.63, it's roughly 1.10. It's probably a little bit more than that, but it gives a rough idea. You add 1, and so you got 3 runners of 2.21, but we had another loser here. So the way this works is we take the winnings off, work out how much we've still got to gain. So we'd have actually covered that 3.63 with 2.1 wins. So we're left with £10.78. We divide that by 3, add 1, and then we get 3 winners in a row again, and then we're back to standard staking. So this is quite interesting, because down here where we are today, we've we had that long winning run. I think that was a winning run of 10 or 17 or something. I think it was 17 altogether, or 13, something like that. If we lost there, we won there, so we gained some of that back. So what was left would have been about £1.50 or something. So we'd have had that to that divided by 3, and then that would be our new stake here. So if we really want 3 winners in a row, so we're going to just see how that pans out over the next few days, and hopefully we'll get those 3 winners, or we might have to deal with more losers. But you can see, even using by 3, the stakes can build up. So you have to be a little bit careful with all kinds of recovery staking, but it does make a bit of a difference over time. Okay, so there are a couple of ideas. You could also do, you could also, what am I doing here? You could also do percentage of bank and update results there. So that's just building up your bank gradually. You could do percentage of bank and say stop at the first selection and see what happens there. So again, it wouldn't have made you a lot of profit, but you're making a little bit of it, 7 points. Or just stop at any profit, update results. So that would just keep going until you made a profit. And obviously with the losers this month, that hasn't helped. So I would use something like stop at any profit and maybe split by 3. Maybe that would help. So we're still covering that this month, but there are loads of ways you could use staking with this method, or just, if you want to, just use standard, and you can see that it is actually making a profit. So it has actually made a profit this month, even with those losses. So that's the other way of doing it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take you to the bot now and show you the setup. So you take the link from TTS Plus and you'll know where to get that. And we're going to go over to the bot now. Okay, the first thing we want to do is put the bot link in. So we go to server tips. The easiest way to do that is, there shouldn't be anything in that box if it's a brand new download. If there is, just click in the box and Control A. Okay, and delete everything in that box. And then you can Control V to paste, or you can even go paste like that if you wanted to paste your link back in. I'm just going to go Control Z so it's back there. With this system, you only need to check every 30 minutes. The selections won't actually change during the day. So once they're set, they're set. It's only if you've got selections that are relying on a price coming in at a certain time, you might want to check every minute or something like that. But these sorts of systems where the selections are set in the morning, we're just looking at the price range, then you can do, as you can just use 30. I just actually, while I was thinking about that, I just realized I've called this bot a Dutch test. It's a bot. We do loads of testing with our bots, and that shouldn't say Dutch test there. That should obviously say John's test or something like that. And the way you do that, you open up the bot configuration and then you can rename it here. The bot does reset when you do that. So if you want to rename the bot at some stage, also make sure when we're using bot links, the bot is in manual select mode as it is here. No reason to change that. That's how it'd be downloaded anyway. Manual select, you can change it. And if you want to use staking, then you can use the staking action key, which you can get from the members area on your accounts page. Okay, so we will go to options because this is where it becomes a little bit more important. Okay, so if we go to the option screens, we can see that we've got loads of tabs here. If you're new to Greyhorse Spot, we only actually need to use stop profit loss session, and that's it. But if you're going to use staking as well, I'll go over that just in case. But obviously, that comes with cravats, that you're doing that on your own back. Okay, so this system is we always use the minimum of 1.10 because if we're going under £2, we need the space under 1.10 to do the calculations on Betfair. And it's kind of moved a little bit since they've done this unfair bet thing. So the minimum bet that the bot can take is 1.10. Minimum bet size is 50 pence on lays. That's just Betfair reject anything under that on the bot. We don't know why, they just do. On backs we can get away with 10 pence, but on lays it's 50 pence. It's all to do with the decimal point calculations or something. It just, they won't accept anything under 50 pence. So that's our main range for the system, 110 to 6. So when the selections are brought down, it will automatically set up that price range for the selections. I'll show you that in a minute. So your stop at profit and stop loss, obviously you probably don't want to stop at any profit, but if you did, you put it there. So if you do want to stop at any profit for the day, you could put in like 0.01 and that would stop as soon as the bot's in profit. And the same with stop loss. Obviously you want to keep that under control, and don't go too mad with these are lays. You don't want to get too out of hand, but please remember at the same time, if you're if you have 2 or 3 losers in a row, the bot will stop if you make this too low. So think about that as well. So if you're staking 50 pence, the max, so if you take it that the maximum price we're going for is 6, that's free at 5, because it's 5, although that says 6, the maximum will be 5, 5, 10, 15. So that times by your stake, you're going to have to get somewhere around £7.50 with this. or over £7.50 for the bot not to stop with 3 losers in a row. But if you want to stop under 2 3 losers, then drop that right down. Or if you want to stop after 1 loser, drop it down. Whatever you want to do. You can reset the auto daily limits. So every day it starts up, it resets those. If you're using this on a server, a VPS, then you only have to set this once. If you're setting it up every day on your machine, that becomes a little bit harder with staking or recovery staking, because it kills the session when you close the bot down. And under some regulations that the Betfair and the betting, whatever it is, the betting body in the UK, they've kind of put this pressure on not carrying forward sessions. It's all to do with safe betting and stuff like that. So it's made it a little bit difficult. So you might have to work out the stakes for the next day yourself. But yeah, it's better if you can run it on a VPS or something, or keep the bot running at all times. Okay, so stop at bank profit, you could do it that way. This is the best way to do it. And you could stop after a number of wins or losses if you wanted to. But generally with this system, you're just going to keep going for profit and then stop if it gets too far out. That's the way you want to do it. I'll go to session next. So we always use a session bank, which is normally a part of your original bank or your whole bank. Now this is for the bot's use, okay? When the bot sees a negative figure, it will stop based on your stop sessions. But Betfair do not know that you're using a session bank. It's just for the bot. It looks at your session, sees what you're doing, and decides whether it's going to stop or not based on whatever your session bank is doing. If your session bank goes into minus, then the bot's going to go, well, you've got no more money, so you've got to stop betting. So it's a way of controlling and keeping safe your main bank. You'll see here there's start betting 10 seconds before the start. Make sure that's on horse as well in this particular case. If you were doing greyhounds, it would be greyhounds, but it's horse. Start betting 10 seconds before the off. Now that's the advertised off. The bot does not know if a race has gone off late. It can only do what the official start time is, and it starts looking at the market 10 seconds before the off. If it sees a runner between these price ranges, then it will place the bet if it's one of our selections, and it will place it at 50 pence. Now you see here we've got widen odds and use short odds. These are to help you get matched. Now with lays, you may already know this, that Betfair will not go above your price that you place the bet at. So just say that at the moment the price is 4. The bot goes to place the bet into the market. Even the bot, although it's quick, there's still a delay. And just say the price goes out from 4 to 4.2. Now Betfair will not match that bet anymore because it's gone over 4. Now of course if it comes back in, the bet will stay in the market until the off, and the bot and the market might come back down to 4 and you'll get placed. But if it doesn't, you're going to miss out on that bet, even though it's within your price range. So what we do with new sure odds is that we put a bet into the market at 6. Now that doesn't say if the price is 3, you're not going to get matched at 6, you're going to get matched at 3. When you place a bet into the market, a lay bet, Betfair will match it at the lowest price it possibly can at that moment. So if the current price is 3, you'll get matched at that. But what it does do is it means that if the price is moving out, our bet's there at 6, so it's going to get matched. Okay, so that's why we use that. The one thing to remember, and it probably won't matter too much at this price range, but Betfair will look at the bet coming into the market as 6 times 50 or 5 times 50. So you better have enough money to cover that main bet, because sometimes people put, large numbers in there and big numbers here, and then Betfair go, well, you haven't got enough in your account to cover that bet, so it won't take the bet. But normally people will have enough to cover a bet that size. So but please remember, sometimes there might be 2 runners in a race or something like that, so that will increase that stake and everything, or the amount of liability you've got. So just be aware of that if it's not betting, it could be that you haven't got enough in the bank to cover the 2 together. So that's what new sure odds does. It just makes sure you've got the best chance of being matched, and obviously if that price goes over 6, you won't get matched. Another thing why I'm here, the maximum API rate doesn't matter anymore, and obviously you can choose between paper trade and live trading. If you paper trade, there's 2 things here. One is the bot doesn't get results because you haven't placed an actual bet, so it won't get a result. two is that Betfair don't mind you doing paper trading, but only marginally. If you carry on and carry on and carry on, they will penalise you at some stage. So, you know, I always say to people, look, you're going to try and find out if this system's any good or not. You might as well place live bets, because that actually tells you what would have happened if you'd placed that bet. Even paper trading is not exactly accurate. You know, the bot might say, oh, I could have got that bet, but actually you might not have been matched on the market. You don't know that for sure. So, you know, just remember that there is a difference between paper trading, and all you're going to see is the selections that appear to be within the price range, but you have to go and find the results later. Okay, so they are the only actual two things you need to change. Everything else is covered by the link. And so you don't need to do non-runners or anything like that. Even in play, you could go in running if you want to see if you're not matched beforehand. You can get matched in running, but that's not how this system works, so maybe not. So the only other thing to cover is staking. Now, obviously, again and again and again, staking is dangerous. Recovery staking is definitely dangerous. So be very, very wary of, careful of this, and understand what your losses could be should things go a bit wrong. So we've got two choices here. We can go use up and down staking or recovery staking. So the split by three is what I use mostly, which is this. So we split the stakes by three, and then we try to make them over by winning 3 races. I normally go a maximum try of 3 or 4. In this case, I put 3, and a maximum staking value of 10. Now that might need to go up in this particular case, but at these current prices, I don't think so. So that's one way of doing it. That's the split by 3. Now you can see you can leave out your normal stake during recovery if you want to make it less. I always add it in, so I leave that. You can add Betfair commission, but the problem with that is it adds what it thinks will be the Betfair commission on that bet, but of course that stake increases, and then when you actually place the bet there will be more commission on it because it's a larger bet. So it's kind of like it's there to help get a little bit more back, but I don't know if it's any good. Carry forward losses to new session will just show you the losses at the front of the screen on the main bot. Okay, so the second way of doing this is to use up and down staking, which was the other one I covered, which basically takes your stake. So this stake is 50 pence. It will go 50 pence, £1, £1.50, £2, yeah, £1, yeah, but up by 50 pence at a time. So £2, £2.50, etc. And then as soon as I have a win, it will revert back to 50 pence staking. That doesn't mean I could make a profit. It just means that it will revert back to staking. Maximum staking tries on up and down staking, so you can go, look, I only want to go 3 or 5 or whatever. And that's the recovery staking. That's everything covered for this particular method. Sorry, I just switched it back to the way I had it set up originally. So I'm using split by 3, and maximum staking tries to 3. The other thing here is ignore race if PL has not been settled. This actually means that if a race hasn't been settled, then the bot will not continue the staking. Now I tend to like that being ticked, because it means that if a race hasn't been settled, we don't know whether we've won or lost on that race. So it seems pointless to start betting on the next race, especially if we're trying to recover. It may mean that we just miss some races, unfortunately, but I think it's a safer option, so that's how I've got it set. So that's it for the options. That's how I've actually got it set up myself personally, and as I said before, that's for me. I'm not telling you that you need to set it up that way, but that's the way I've got it set up. You don't need trading in this case. You don't need in play. You don't need ladder stakes, horse form, or anything like that. It's all covered by the link. So okay, there's a button down here, you can't see it, but it says okay. You'd see it on your screen. It's just my screen on the, so you can probably see it now. Okay, and cancel. So you'll need that. I'm going to just go cancel because I don't want to change my settings. So as soon as you start the bot, it will download today's selection. So you can see here 150 at Goodwood, and if I double clicked on that race, it would show me the selection, and it's unlikely to be between 1 and 6 that first selection, but it just kind of shows you. that's the current price. So yeah, and it shows you all the selections, so all it'll do is monitor up until that race starts. If that race, or if that runner is between our price range, it will place the bet. And like it did yesterday, that one loser we had yesterday, I just started the bot because I just started thinking about this system yesterday. And this is our test bots. We don't have a lot in our accounts, so we can't place lots of big bets or anything like that, because we use our accounts for testing. And I've said this 100 times. Basically, we used to put £500 or in some cases £1,000 in our accounts. We've only got a couple of them because Betfair restricts us as much as they restrict anybody when it comes to betting accounts. We lost £500 in one night or one afternoon where we got the coding wrong. So nowadays we keep our accounts really low, and we try and show testing like this. But it doesn't matter if it's placed a bet for 50 pence. It's probably going to be able to place one at £100. It doesn't really matter. There's plenty of money on the markets. It might be slightly different price because, you might not get £100 bet at 4. You might have had to go to 4.2 or something like that. But with 10 seconds before the off, there's hundreds and hundreds of pounds coming into the market, if not thousands, into most markets. So it doesn't really matter. You can scale up these systems on the horse racing market. It doesn't really matter because there's plenty of money on them. Okay, and that completes the bot setup if you want to do the bot setup. So that just about covers everything. So if it's a system you want to follow or want to have a look at, of course, once you've saved it with TTS, you can just load up the results whenever you want and have a look. You don't even have to place the bets. You can just come down every few days and say, oh, what's this system been doing? Or you can say, no, I like the idea of this system and I'm going to cover it and see if I can win with it, or I can do what I like with it. You may even want to go through and say, well, actually, let me have a look a bit deeper at this system and see if there's any places that I can make it better by adding new filters, or looking at what the results are if you change these filters and that kind of thing. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you find this system interesting. Thanks for John for supplying the system. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please give me the thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel. It helps me make more videos. And also, if you want to know more about TTS, put a comment in the I'll get there in a minute. Put a comment in the comments saying more about my daily email or more about TTS, and I'll send you some information about that. Okay, thanks, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.